And we back with another one. Airwave me all platforms. You already know what's going on. I gotta tell you to like, I gotta tell you to comment, and I gotta tell you to subscribe. That's how the intros gotta work on YouTube. So sorry to bother you, but you know what I'm saying. You're already here. Might as well just stay for the ride, bro. Join the wave, bro. But yeah, let me just get right into it, man. You seen the title. You seen the title, you seen the thumbnail. I'm going to be on my A&R shit today. It's an idea I've been thinking about for a minute now. I just didn't know like how I wanted to format it. But yeah, we're gonna get into some hypothetical collab albums. Now, what inspired this really was me seeing a lot of people like have these little moments together that I really appreciated it and that I really appreciated and made me think deeper into like, how would this sound for an extended amount of time? And for an example, I'll give you is actually no, I don't want to spoil it, but after I had these thoughts, right, I started to see more and more collaborations start to, arise. For example, I guess Clips isn't considered a collaboration project, but it's two artists collaborating at the end of the day. Jack Boys, a bunch of people collaborating by the end of the day. That just happened. Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist. It's a producer rapper collab, which is a whole different video that I could do if you guys want me to do it. You know what I'm saying? Request that, I'll do that too. But there's a lot of collaborations that's been happening, and I've been loving it. So I just want to get into it and see what y'all think, bruh. So my first one, I think I'm gonna make this one the thumbnail because I feel like y'all don't understand how much I enjoy these artists. Kenny Mason and JID. Tell me that wouldn't be a fire collaboration album. I'm sure plenty of y'all have already thought of this before. I'm sure plenty of y'all have probably requested it and wanted this from them before. But I just want to talk about it a little bit right now. Kenny Mason, Atlanta lyricist. JID, Atlanta lyricist. Both of them have really good approaches to the craft, but they also know how to mix it up with other sounds. A good example of this is Kenny Mason always being able to implement some rock production within his albums. Have we heard JID on that type of shit before? I don't think we have. Not to an extent that Kenny Mason could probably bring to the table. That would be interesting. I'd love to hear that. Also, I want to see Atlanta lyricists take an uprise again. I feel like Atlanta's been sleeping lately, bro. I feel like Atlanta's been sleeping. And shout out to Earth Gang because they're a great duo from Atlanta that also, got good pens. But it's like when it comes to these new cats, even the trap rappers not really doing it for me for real when it comes to Atlanta. I feel like there should be a lot more going on. I think this would really reinvigorate that spirit of competitive rap. Not the diss track competitive, but I mean, oh, they both in the studio trying to one up each other. Every time they collab together, it is fire. The only thing that I got a gripe with was the Just in Time song because they only made Kenny Mason do the hook, and I wanted him to do a verse too, bro. But if you want an example of this, I'll give you Stick. The energy on Stick off the Dreamville project was amazing. They both had such they had huge, amazing contributions to the song. And the biggest contribution, in my opinion, was the hook by Kenny Mason. I want to see more Kenny Mason hooks, and I want to see more GID experimentation. Simple as that. Now let's talk about some features. Features, I said IDK because they had a good song with him called Serial. If you never heard of that one, really good. Uh, J. Cole, that was an obvious one in my opinion because J. Cole, JID, the Dreamville connection. And also, J. Cole needs to get pushed back into the lab, like to really cook, like with some niggas that are actually like on demon timing when it comes to like rapping. Like they don't give a fuck nothing about that nobody buddy shit. He needs to be in that spirit again. And I don't know if y'all been seeing, but JID's been looking like he's frustrated with Dreamville and I'm not being on that demon timing. You feel me? So I feel like that would be great. Plus, J. Cole had an amazing verse on Stick. J. Cole had the best verse on Stick, hands down. Hands down. But that would be great to see them do something like maybe they could do something chill. They can do something more, you know, focused and in the cut. But if they go for something with more energy like Stick, I wouldn't be mad at it either. Another one I added, Tony Snow. Tony Snow is a sleeper pick, low key. Cause I don't know if I know about Tony Snow like that, but Tony Snow is he's an Atlanta artist too. He's a rapper, and I don't want to call him like a trap rapper, but he's more on like that V side of rap. Like he's like on some like he's like he just rap about hustle, but he just rap about getting to it. Kenny Mason and Tony Snow had a song together that was really good to me. It was off the one of the three EPs. I think I forgot what it was called. Ah, fuck, what was that shit called? I forgot. I just talked about it with my friend at work. Fuck, I forgot what the song was called, but it sampled "Knocking the Boots," I think. Uh, and then another obvious one, 21 Savage. I try to get some Atlanta folks in here, and I wanted one that was more underground because Tony Snow's not he's not underground, but he's like definitely not he's not super mainstream either. Uh, and then 21 Savage is he's super mainstream. But my only thing with 21 Savage is that he's been lacking with these features recently, bro. I feel like ever since like that Her Loss era, his shtick has kind of been getting like watered down. People are kind of sick of it. I'm one of those people because I'm someone that's grown to love 21 Savage. I had my gripes with him in like 2016, 2017 when he was like rising. I didn't like hate him, but I was just like, he's not doing nothing. He's not saying nothing. He's not making me feel nothing. But something about it wasn't the I Am Greater Than I Was project. It wasn't that got me onto him. It was that Without Warning project with Offset. Once I seen the potential there, he just carried nothing but straight heat after. But ever since doing all these Drake collabs with the Her Loss shit, it's like feature after the next, always got the same flow, the same bars. You're gonna talk about nutting on somebody's face in some creative way. He talks about it on the Astro World album, talks about it in Her Laws, talks about it in For All the Dogs. Like it gets to a point. But yeah, that's just some ideas I had. Y'all let me know who y'all would want on this album. I'm pretty sure y'all would have a lot of good picks because y'all be knowing. Y'all really be knowing, especially when it comes to these lyricists. Producers, I just kept it simple. Coop, somebody that works with Kenny Mason a lot. I love the beats Coop makes for him. An example I have is probably Shell. I love that Shell beat. I love the way Coop samples for Kenny. And then Cardo. Cardo Got Wings has some of the most energetic productions that I've heard in these past few years when it comes to like non-underground rap. For example, his work with Baby Keem, which would be another cool feature on here, low key. I could throw Baby Keem on here, but I just think that would be a fun person to make beats. No, I feel like that would be fun production for this project. So you let me know what y'all think about this one, man. The producers are low key lacking in this video. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't really know all the producers like that by heart. I just was trying to come up with stuff off the top of my head to make it more genuine. My next one is Nino Paid and DC2 Trill. I love this duo, and I feel like there's so much potential here, and they don't be working together enough. Like they be on stream together, smoking and shit, telling stories. But I need to hear more projects together, bro. I mean, more songs together. So if you don't know who Nino Paid is, don't know who DC2 Trill is, Nino Paid is a DMV artist. He's been huge. If you're my age, you know about Nino Paid. He's very chill on the beat, but he be saying shit. He really be talking that real shit. He be talking about his life. And DC2 Trill is also a very chill kind of rapper, but he knows when to pick up that energy. He's very bombastic when he does his beat switches and shit like that. And he's a Concrete member, so he's one of Lil Yachty's artists. They have a song together called Billy and Mandy. It's mad chill, it's mad laid back, but it's got some of the most addictive punchlines. They got to get rhythm to it, and their chemistry was so good. I didn't expect it to be that good. They have amazing chemistry, so I would love to see them together on a project. I think they share similar taste when it comes to beats. I think they both like a real smooth beat, and I think they both know how to rap on it well. Um, I would want like 12 tracks out of them. Nothing too long, nothing too overstated, but like a cool little 12 track project from them. I feel like would be great. Um, some features that I thought of for this one was Draft Day because it's another concrete member. He got a rasp to his voice that I think would fit well with the DC2 Trill raspiness and also the Nino Pate smoothness. Baby Cheap Do It. Hear me out. If you don't know who Baby Cheap Do It is, he's this little YN. I'm like he a little Boondocks character looking nigga, bro. He look like Riley type shit, right? But Baby Chief Do It and DC2 Trill have a song together called what's that shit called? Let me learn it again. Fuck. Oh, Coolin'. It's called Coolin'. They made it on Blackboy Max's stream, which takes me to my next person, Blackboy Max. Baby Chief Dude, I think will have good energy. He'll be something that could revive the energy and the feeling of the track listing because you don't want it to be too chill, right? But that's neither here nor there. I found both Nino Paid and DC2 Trill off Blackboy Max's streams. I've already known about DC2 Trill before the Max stream, but it made me want to dive into his music more. Nino Paid, I'm not gonna lie, I heard from a Blackboy Max stream 2 years ago. Or was it the year before? No, I think it was 2 years ago. When he made Champagne. I fell in love with his voice. I loved how he hopped on that Pink Panthers beat, and then I ended up diving into Nino Paid's music. I feel like it would be a full circle moment for them to now put Blackboy Max onto their platform because Blackboy Max makes music now. Like he's been making music, but now he's like officially dropped music. I feel like it'd be a cool full circle moment. I think he could learn a lot from them writing wise. I think he could benefit from being in a booth with two people that aren't like auto tune reliant artists and more like swag, punchline, swag. Let me tell you a little bit about my life, and then a little bit of like comedic value to something like that a DC2 Trill would do. I think Playboy Max would benefit heavily from this, and also I think it would be a cool stream if we were to get some in the studio sessions. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of marketing for these artists too a little bit when it comes to this type of video, right? Then my last feature, which is my favorite one, because I feel like this is like a most obvious one that people aren't talking about. Mexico Dro, bro. If you haven't, you've heard him on TikTok with the Mexico, no, I'm a fighter. That one shit, that little one shit. Let me see if I can find it. Mexico Dro. Yeah, man. Yeah, no dates. The no date song. When DC2 Trills. He would fit perfectly on an intro with DC2 Trill. Intro, outro, something like that. Because when DC2 Trill switches up his beat, it'd be some crazy shit. I'll give you an example. DC2 Trill. Mr. Junior, why was always smoking Cosmo? I'm not a green consumer. That's the Drink Baby Anthem intro. When he does that voice, when he does it on his Lyrical Lemonade freestyle as well, it would fit so perfect with Mexico Dro. They would like blend together. I'm telling you, it would be fire. So yeah, those are the features. And then producers, I just said 5K Jordan because I know that he's made beats for them on stream. I also could have gone with like a Mitch Gone Mad, who's a concrete producer. You've probably seen him. He's the one that they be saying be fucking his cousin on Lil Yachty's podcast. Who else? I think that's it that I could think of. But there's mad options for them because honestly, the beats they rap on don't sound that like particular. They just sound like really chill, smooth ass beats. So I feel like anything with that, and I feel like they would do really good over some jazz samples, some jazzy shit together. So yeah, let's go to the next one, man. Pain and DC2 Trill is probably my favorite duo that I've listed because it's something that I feel like I've wanted for a long time because I've been thinking about it since they dropped this song. It just sounded so good together. This one is my second favorite, damn near. They're all my favorites. But Vince Staples and Schoolboy Q. If you've heard Riot Out, you know exactly why I want this, bro. You know exactly why I want this, man. They got that Crip connection, you feel me? They both Crips, you feel me? They both West Coast, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, they both got the personalities for it to make something super unapologetically West Coast, dog. They both got it in their system. So if you haven't heard Ride Out, it's off of the Blank Face LP that Schoolboy Q dropped like years ago. and it was great. Super high energy, super like super in your face, with very witty lines. Like what? The math scheme that Schoolboy Q did, subtract one, I got eight. I'm keeping one, but just in case. All that was tough. Tyler, not Tyler. Vince Staples' verse on there was just, it was really simple, but it was really aggressive, and I enjoyed it. And I low key missed that side of Vince Staples. I do enjoy his later works. Over When a Perk Broke My Heart, I do thoroughly enjoy the Vince Staples self-titled project. I think it might be some of his best work. Dark Times was good, but it wasn't my favorite. And I understand how he feels about, you know, making too much of that, like I'm about to ride and shoot a nigga type of music. I get it. But I feel like when you're working with a person like Schoolboy Q, who has like an understanding of why you would feel that way, they feel like they would both have a similar outlook on how to approach these tracks. I think it would just be really, really fire if they made some celebratory West Coast shit together. And I think it would be good for the culture. I think it would be good for what they both each independently got going on. I think it would do nothing but boost each other. I feel like this is one of those ones where they would mutually gain the exact same amount of benefit from it, to be honest. If I'm thinking from like a business standpoint. Now, artistic standpoint, I think they could also go a route where they go on a more conceptual road where it's more about the trials and tribulations of gain, like navigating the street life while getting to this point of success. You feel me? And I think two parts are better than one. They could talk about the gang culture and shit like that, but they could also talk about how they feel about this music industry shit too, because there's a lot of fake shit going on within that probably has similar gripes and similar that could trigger similar feelings that you might have felt when you were just stepping into the game. And I feel like that could be an interesting project. But I don't know. There's multiple routes you can do. You can do some super introspective shit 'cause they're both really good writers. They're both really good. Um, uh, I don't want to say party music makers, but like energy rappers. You know what I'm saying? They both have very good energy, and they both could flow super well. I think they both got really underrated flows. But yeah, they could go so many routes with it. I just feel like we haven't heard enough music of them together. And that's kind of what I've been gearing this video towards, is like people who I think should be making more music together, or should at least, have a thought of it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, some features that would be cool is AZ Chisite. He was off the Blue Lips album. Blue Lips was the best album of last year. I don't care what nobody says. Schoolboy Q was him. AZ Chisek was on there. He was on the Kendrick Lamar album, the GNX album. I love the energy he comes in with. I feel like he would fit this style so well. I feel like it would be really fun to see him and Vince Staples, bouncing flows off of each other, because it's something I haven't heard before. Um, and the punchlines would be hilarious, bro. Between Schoolboy Q and AZ Chisek, the punchlines would be so entertaining if they go that more celebratory route. Tyler the Creator, another West Coast person. I made the features solely West Coast, is a really West Coast oriented project. Tyler the Creator, I would love a feature from Tyler on here. Tyler's been diving more into his LA bag when it comes to how he's talking. Even with these interviews, he's been making it very, very known that he's super proud of where he's from. He's mentioned Hawthorne like a million times within this past year, and I got nothing but respect for that. I just want to see what he would do on a project with Schoolboy Q and Vince, because I feel like we don't get enough music of them together. I don't get any music of Tyler and Vince together, and the little music we have of Schoolboy Q and Tyler together has all been great. I can't stop listening to Thought I Was Dead, and that was a more recent one from last year. Schoolboy Q had a great feature on there. Excuse me. So yeah, I say throw Tyler on there, bro. He can get into that accent, he can get into that bag, and you can also maybe add in some production too if you need. And even if you go into the introspective route, I think Tyler would have a lot to say about, you know, the parallels of where he's from and now being in the music game. I just feel like it'll be perfect. So yeah, Kendrick Lamar, just a super obvious pick. Yeah, right. With Vince Staples was a great song off the Big Fish project. Kendrick, Schoolboy Q, they got tons of music together. I know Black Hippie Connection. I know TDE Connection. I know West Coast Connection. I know Kendrick could do some super hype shit now. Like, come on, bro. Like, and he's got the juice too. So it's like it'll be a huge moment for your project to have him on there. But even if you're not trying to go that route with the introspective shit, we know how in depth, we know how lyrically sharp Kendrick is, and we know how lyrically sharp Vince and Schoolboy Q are. I don't want nobody to act like they something to sneeze at. So if you just get all three of them barring up, and it's not on no hype shit, it's on some super like hip hop fan shit, some nerdy shit where I'm breaking down every little syllable. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna enjoy it. It's Vince, Schoolboy Q, and Kendrick on a song, on a collab project of Vince and Schoolboy Q. What? You can make the album cover blue with some artsy shit going on in it too. It could be some whole, there's so much shit you could do with it, bro. It'd be fire. Um and then producers, I just said DJ Mustard. I'm not gonna lie, I just kept it simple with that. DJ Mustard been on a tear with Kendrick. Why not have DJ Mustard produce? I'm not saying the producers that I'm listening would be the only ones, but I'm just saying a producer I'd like to throw on there would be DJ Mustard. And for this track listed though, I would kind of want, I look, you would want, uh, knowing them and knowing how they're not gonna release that often, I wouldn't mind 16 tracks. 14 is always the sweet spot, of course, but I wouldn't mind 16 just because I know these dudes aren't dropping a ton of music in your face all the time. But yeah, let's go to the next man. Vince Staples and Schoolboy Q is one of those ones I've been thinking about since I was in freshman year of high school, of how much I would want them to work together. Denzel Curry and JPEG Mafia. Now this one might look a little shisty when you're reading it. Don't like, just let me cook right. Denzel Curry and JPEG Mafia could do a super fun type of rock inspired album. Um, I don't want them to do rock music. I want them to have rock sounds and rap on it. That's like kind of the angle that I was pushing with this one. I think it could be I think it I think it could I think it could be something super reinvigorating to the rap game, especially within the underground scene. Because I think these are two artists that people could probably model a couple of their like aesthetics when it comes to their music after. Because all the underground niggas love this rock shit for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why people just suddenly, all of a sudden, they either love the Led Zeppelin or Tame Impala whenever they make it big. But that's neither here nor there. We've all heard Denzel Curry and JPEG Mafia work together. They have this song off of JPEG's last album that he dropped last year that was good. And they also got the one off of the Taboo album that was really good. I want to hear straight rapping, bro. I want to hear straight aggression. I want to hear JPEG Mafia on some beats that sound a little bit more accessible. I don't want it to be like nothing crazy mainstream or nothing like that, but just something that could like maybe garner a new ear, because I feel like niggas is, you eventually got to get sick of hearing shit like super off the wall. Sometimes you want to hear something a little bit more tame. But features, I said Danny Brown. I feel that's an obvious one. Because of the chemistry that they had together on that Scared the Host project. I didn't even like the project that much because I just can't really get into it. But it's undeniable that those two have such crazy energy, and his voice would really fit on this type of style of rap that I'm trying to like, convey. Playboy Cardi. Hear me out on Playboy Cardi. I know niggas is probably like, what the fuck? Playboy Cardi with Denzel Curry and JPEG Mafia? This is a fantasy world. This is imagination land. I could do whatever I want. I don't care about status and shit like that. I'm thinking of what would be super cool to hear and see. And if you're telling me that Playboy Cardi doing his deep rock voice on a song like this, Sin Miedo by JPEG Mafia. If you don't think that Cardi can't come in and kill some shit on a song like that, with JPEG Mafia and Denzel Curry, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to me, and you're lying to the people. That would be beautiful to see. Now, Kenny Mason. Kenny Mason is a perfect combination of what I like about all these people here. Besides Cardi, lyrical and experimental with the sounds. And one of the best sounds that he has that he loves is that rock shit, like I just mentioned with JID. So why would we not have a Kenny Mason feature on here? Not only that, I've been wanting to hear Kenny Mason and Denzel Curry work together more often too. I think that would be amazing. I think that they all would have some crazy chemistry and some synergy on here, and I thoroughly think that Kenny Mason could probably come up with the best verse if he really put his mind to it. I want to see more pens being pushed, and I want to see JPEG Mafia take the reins on the production as one of the producers. I think he's one of the best samplers of this generation. I feel like he makes the most creative decisions with these samples. For example, I'll Be Right There. Amazing song. Amazing song. He sampled that song beautifully. A song like Valentine's Day Freestyle. Super fun to hear. Um, the Hazard Pay. Like he's just really good at that. And I want to hear some experimental samples, and I want to hear Denzel Curry rap on them. Simple as that. Then I put a little addition too for the producers. Okay. I don't know if you guys know Okay. I know the younger folks do. He's an underground producer. He makes beats for a lot of the younger folks. Y'all probably don't vibe with, like for example like Osama's son. I want to hear him do some crazy off the wall production with some rock instrumentation to it, and I want to hear how they would curate it from like a older perspective because Denzel and JPEG Mafia are both they're old in comparison to these other artists. I don't want to keep hearing Okay do the same shit over and over again. I think he has mad potential as a producer. I would love to see how they would work with Okay. I think they would do something really interesting and super like like forward thinking with him. They wouldn't have him staying in a stagnant place the way I think these underground rappers got him sitting because I feel like he's making the same type of shit over and over again, and I think he has a lot of potential to do more, and I feel like they could kind of kickstart that. So yeah, Denzel Curry, JPEG Mafia. I feel like it's an obvious one, but it's one that could look a little weird when you put the shit that I'm putting along with it, like Cardi and Okay. But you gotta see the vision, bro. You gotta let me cook. Let's go to the next duo. Bees and Lil Yachty. This is another obvious one. I feel like you probably want me to replace Lil Yachty with somebody else if you think how I think, but I'm gonna explain why I didn't do that. Bees and Lil Yachty, they got a lot of music together. They've been dropping all these singles together, like Sorry Not Sorry and Can't Be Crete. I just feel like it's only right to just say fuck it, let's drop a collab album. Let's do it. Fuck it. I still personally think that Lil Yachty does not have a great solo rap album. So I do think he should probably do that first. Or maybe he does it after. Maybe this could be his practice for that. Cause I think that people have been giving him a lot of notoriety for that Let's Start Here project that's made him a little bit complacent in dropping a solo rap project. I'm just saying. But this is gonna be something that could push agendas, get him geared up to actually get back into it. Because V's could rap his ass off when he wants to. And they have great chemistry. I love Can Be Crete and I love Sorry Not Sorry, but I also love their work together off of the what was it called? Michigan Boy Boat project. I love what they did there, and I think Lil Yachty was on the Ganger album. Was it no? Broke Phone was lucky. Lil Yachty was on one of the songs on Ganger that I enjoyed too. I think they just work well together. Um, I do think that this would be a more Detroit inspired project. I haven't heard Lil Yachty rap with those Detroit dudes like consistently in a minute, which makes sense. He gave them their moment and they all been grinding and shining in their own ways. But if I were to say where I would want this to go, I would love to have Babyface Ray as a feature on here. I haven't been listening to Babyface Ray like that, but when I was listening to Babyface Ray, I used to really listen to Babyface Ray. I was fucking with everything off of the Mob project. I loved the work that he did with Yachty, but also the work he was doing with damn, it was somebody else that I forgot. Fuck. He was doing a lot of work in that like 2022 era that I was really enjoying, basically. Um, oh, for example, like Baby Tron, he was working with that I like too, but I don't want Baby Tron on this project. I'm not gonna lie. Day Money, I fuck with Day Money heavily. I don't know if you know about Day Money like that, but Day Money is somebody that just slowly just kind of kept creeping into my playlist from features, like songs like Top Rank, songs like Who Was That, Japanese Denim. I think got that I think that's his song. I fuck with him heavy. Skilla Baby. I know Skilla Baby is like he's like a Detroit favorite, so I feel like I had to put him on there. I don't know too many songs by him, but I love Icky Bicky by him, and every time I hear him on a feature, I don't hear him do bad. Rio the Young OG, I feel like there's no need to explain Rio the Young OG. It's Rio the Young OG. He's literally the encapsulation of what that elk of music really is. Producers. I'm gonna say Mitch Gone Mad. Lil Yachty's producer. I don't know. I don't know if they're back cool after their fallout for the podcast shit going on. But Mitch Gone Mad, I feel like would make some interesting sample choices on here. That could be cool. Rawbone is a really good producer that I like. I think he did Detroit shit. I forget. I just remember hearing his producer tag a lot within their music, and I always enjoyed the beat after I hear it. Some other people that I would probably think are like the obvious pick would be like an Energy. Like Energy made this one. I haven't heard him making music in a minute though. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't heard the Energy beats in a minute because I haven't been on Detroit music the way I used to be. But yeah, Bees and Lil Yachty, that's just the obvious one. I feel like I like their chemistry a lot. And if you're wondering why I didn't say Bees and Lucky, because Bees and Lucky is a crazy duo. We got a lot of music of them together, and they have similar cadences to the point where I don't want it to get too boring. But Bees and Lil Yachty, their voices are just so different, and the way they approach the track is so different. Bees and Lucky, they have a lot of similarity within the way they attack the beats. So that's kind of why I decided not to do Bees and Lucky, and I feel like that's something that's talked about a lot already anyway. But if they did drop a collab tape tomorrow, best believe I'd be right here tomorrow, the second it drops, reacting to it, and probably loving it because it's V's and Lucky. But let me continue to the next people. Saba, No Name, and Smino. No, I'm all over the place with this. I don't care. I don't care that I went to V's and Lucky to Saba, No Name, and Smino. I don't care. What you gonna do about it, bro? You're gonna be even more creeped out when you get to the end of this shit. Whatever. Saba No Name and Smino, they already are an official trio. Well, their official trio name, I should say, is Ghetto Sage, I believe, something like that. They got songs together that are great already. We know about Ace, probably their best collaboration in my opinion. Ooh, actually, is it? Cause Shadow Man is really up there. It's between Ace and Shadow Man. I don't know between Ace and Shadow Man, but Saba No Name and Smino, they really do so well together. I could have said any of these as a duo and made that, the idea, but I feel like it would just feel wrong to leave some in and not bring out the whole three. Um, why do I want them to make a whole collab project together? I want them to make a whole collab project together because I feel like it would be fun for them. I think that they genuinely have some of the best chemistry that we've seen in that era of music. So I remember when they were like really, really like underground, like when she first dropped her telephone project and shit like that. And I just heard this genuine care and love for what they were doing. And they all have great penmanship and flows. These three, I can't name too many trios that has a good of a flow as them, especially when it comes to especially you want to put them one on one against somebody. Your favorite rapper probably does not have a better flow than Smino. Smino's not even like a rapper for real, because he's more of like a singer, but he raps super well in that voice. And a lot of them don't got a better flow than him. A lot of y'all favorite male rappers don't even have a better flow than No Name, let alone the females. The females can't fuck with No Name on that level. And then Saba, we all know what Saba does. I feel like Saba's probably like the most solidified when it comes to his raps, because he has like arguably he already has a classic in my opinion with Care For Me. I don't think anyone's gonna really debate me if I tell you that Care For Me is a classic. So I feel like this would just be a good addition to all their catalogs. I think they all got some of the best flows, some of the most dynamic writing when it comes to it. Comes in with the most like witty, but also like, light-hearted punchlines that could really hit home. But he also talks about that deep shit too in a way that could probably be. I don't think he's as on par with Saba and No Name on that level, but he could add a backdrop to how they discuss some deeper stuff if they want to go that route. I think excuse me. Excuse me. I think No Name could really benefit from working with Asaba and Smino because I don't see her work with too many people, and I think there's a bit of a like a divide on that side of rap. I don't want to get into it deeply, but she be throwing shots at Kendrick a lot and shit like that, and I feel like a lot of people would like benefit from seeing her in just this new different context where it's not just her standing alone, but she's also with other folks that are more universally loved. And this is coming off weird. I don't want to get into it. Never mind. It's coming off weird. I just feel like more people should listen to No Name and give her a chance because I thoroughly enjoy her music, and I think all their voices are so perfect together. I don't know how they all have such a great voice for music making, and how they all found each other, but they just did, and it's perfect. And not to mention the Chicago connection that Saba and No Name got. I feel like that's beautiful, which leads me to this next feature, Chance the Rapper. Don't don't act like Chance the Rapper didn't do it for y'all in 2016, 2017. Don't act like he didn't, all right? He only has one bad project, dog. Only one. Okay? It's taking him a minute to recover and put out that Starline Gallery one. But when he does, I have hope, all right? I'm saying Chance the Rapper because I think they could talk about a lot of the same shit that they've been talking about together. I feel like it's obvious. Chance has worked with No Name before. He's worked with Saba before. He's worked with Smino before, but that was on the bad project, but that wasn't Smino's fault. They all got some of the most dynamic poetic writing when it comes to this level of rap. Chance the Rapper is a poet. Saba speaks very poetically. No Name is damn near she's damn near not even a rapper no more. Every time she starts talking, I feel like I'm stuck in like this super introspective soliloquy. I'm not gonna hold you. If you don't know what I mean, listen to her last project. I'm telling you, it was great. Beauty Supply is probably my favorite song up there. Yeah, they would just do well together. And Raven Lene is a perfect feature because she's worked with all of them. She's a cheat code singer feature. She has a beautiful, light, crisp way of entering the track and making it her own while not being overbearing. I think that's something that would be perfect for lyricists like Saba and No Name and artists like Smino as well. Dochi, I think she would have some very really interesting energy on here. I don't know why. She just kind of came to my mind because I was thinking of another female rapper who gives me the same feeling as No Name. And Dochi doesn't quite give me that feeling, but she gives me a different feeling. And I feel like that would be cool to see that type of feeling with a different type of feeling, if you know what I mean. Because like Lotto and Glorilla working together is like damn copy and paste feeling wise. Not saying that they're the same artist, but it's like I could already imagine what that song is gonna sound like, and I'm not crazy about it. Dochi and No Name, I don't know what that sounds like. I don't, but I know that's something that's probably gonna be different than what been hearing for the past 8 years within female rap. So why not have her on the project too, and see what she would do with all three of them? I feel like, and Dochi can rap. She could definitely rap, but she can also sing too. So just a lot you can do with Dochi. Producers, Monte Booker. That's the most obvious one because he's worked with all of them, of course, but his most frequent collaborator is definitely Smino. They're locked in like this. And he's just great. He has really nice little crisp drums that he uses. It all sounds kind of like it's like bouncy. It's like got a bouncy feel, and it really complements the style that Saba and No Name be doing too. I just feel like it's like the most obvious pick. No ID, another obvious pick. Great collab project with Saba this year. One of my favorite projects of the year. Really representative of the culture, real like Chicago shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just let them have that. Great backdrop for lyricism as well. And then this one was just me, being me. and being Mr. Delusional, but I threw Ye in there too. Like Ye would be nice. It would be come on, you can't say like come on, this is Donda era Ye. Wouldn't you be like, damn, he really tapped in, he really putting on real Chicago shit. This is beautiful, a nice little sample, and then it would just be nice for Ye to produce on here. I know he's off his rocker. He's been quiet these past this past like month or two, but I don't know whether to be happy about that or be scared. So I just threw Ye up there because he's still a goat to me. Still to me like the best artist we've seen in this genre. But sometimes they fall from grace. So let's not talk about it, bro. I'm about to shed a tear. But yeah, this would be great for Chicago to have No Idea and Ye produce. And that leads me to my next deal. This is gonna be a crazy 180. This is gonna be crazy. From this, you're gonna be like, how the fuck we get to from this to this? Yes, yes, yes. I don't care what nobody has to say. I don't care. I want to see some street shit. I want to see some shit get crazy. Lucky and Chucky is a duo I never thought that I would need to hear together. I never thought of it. Mind you, I've known about Lucky for like maybe 6 years now. I've been loving Lucky. I never knew Lucky was somebody that would make street music, bro. But lately, every time he does, it's been hitting. Chucky is somebody I've been knowing since like last year. The not Wyans. My younger family members put me on to him. All the teenagers, like the young teenagers, they love Chucky. Every story post that my cousins were showing me, it was all their classmates just posted a bunch of Chucky. Mind you, Lucky's about to be 30. Chucky, I think, is a teenager himself. It's such a great fusion of two different age groups being able to fuse on an album together, and they're from the same place. And you can tell that Lucky actually gives a fuck about him. You can tell that Lucky's not just like, okay, let me give a little bro a feature. He's like, nah, I see something in bro. I'm trying to really like show that we got some camaraderie in the rag, you know what I'm saying? So I know I just went from the Saba, Chance the Rapper, no name shit for Chicago with No ID producing and Ye producing. But that's just how talented Chicago really is, that we can go from that sound all the way to this sound and it both be so quality, even though it's overly different. I know that it's overly different. And this is actually something that kind of inspired me to make this video, because when they dropped Hot Seat, I'm somebody that never really liked Chucky, but I didn't dislike him either. I just never listened to him for real. I just only heard him from my little cousins. I never tapped in. But Hot Seat, I'm like, okay, he got a song with Lucky now. Lucky from Chicago too. I know Lucky probably, would appreciate this type of artist. Let me see what it's talking about. I damn near think Chucky stole the show. When Chucky came in on the beat, I seen on the message. I think on my opposite try me thinking man they on the fast. That's what you ain't on the forever. I can't just take from my jacket. Like just put up in the spaceship. We about to go ahead and mass fit spinning back. That feeling niggas really children. All that shit, bro. I was like, whoa, this took me for a loop. I was not expecting this. So yeah, Hot Seat inspired a lot of this video. I think Lucky has some of the best writing that we've seen from this side of rap. I think people don't give it enough appreciation unless you're a Lucky fan. All Lucky fans know he's a great writer, but to see him rap on a street style collaboration project with Chucky would just be a cool way to pass the torch, man. Cause Lucky turning 30, he's no longer underground, bro. He's no longer underground. Chucky's the one that's coming up. They both from the rag. They both talk about similar things. I feel like they both got similar perspectives. It would just be from different points of views, age wise, and it's just cool to see. It's just all in all, it's just cool to see. It feels like Big Cuz putting on his little cousin type of shit. You feel me? And the style that they would go for would be super accessible. It would be very accessible. It's easy to play in the car, easy to play in the function. But if you know Lucky, he's still able to pack a lot of substance within his bars, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's not gonna be no super political shit that he's putting in, but he's gonna put in some shit that make you replay that shit like, damn, he really said that. You know what I'm saying? And then Chucky gonna just do some shit that makes you be like, damn, I wanna drive a little bit faster right now. I'm about to all of a sudden my foot feeling a little bit heavier on this gas pedal. He really got that energy. I love the energy they got together. It's great. It's infectious. Let's talk about the features, right? Features. I'm thinking OT7 Kwani. I don't know OT7 Kwani like that, but he's another artist that a lot of the young niggas was listening to. And when I was playing them, I was like, oh, this shit is hard. I like the flow that he uses. And Lucky used one of his type of flows and beats on a freestyle for On the Radar, and it was really enjoyable. So shit, why not have the person who originated that or who did it, first on the project with y'all? Excuse me, it's real it'd be some real smooth shit to me. Uh and I think Chucky would it would be interesting to see Chucky with this person too, because I don't know if they have worked together, but they sound like people that would work together, you know what I mean? Well, Chief Keef. I feel like that was an obvious one because a lot of the beats that Chucky be on is like super trap inspired, super hard hitting. Um, but a lot of the beats that Lucky be on, they're trap too. But sometimes he be on some shit that sounds kind of like drill with like a psychedelic twist to it. For example, like Straight Syrup. That's a crazy good beat. And Lucky was just talking about how much respect he has for Chief Keef, which I feel like we all gotta have respect for Chief Keef because he did pioneer the sound of drill in general at such a young age at that. But especially when you're from Chicago, in that generation, how could you not? So I feel like that'd be great to pay homage because it's like, damn, Lucky passing the baton to Chucky, but Chief Keef's the one that's been holding the flame and really ignited that spark for this day and age. And it's like I feel like he would fit on the production really well. I think if they were all on a Chief Keef type of beat that was a little bit more modernized, it could be a really fun listen. V's, I just put V's on there because I want to hear V's and Lucky together again. And I think if Lucky and Chucky hopped on a smooth beat together, it could unlock a whole new kind of flow for Chucky. Because Chucky has done chiller music like his My World song that is so huge. He's really rapping super like nonchalantly, similar to how a Lucky would rap or how a V's would rap. But if I feel like if they all did it together on like on a better beat, because I don't love the My World beat, I really don't. If they hopped on a better beat for that, I just spit. That shit would be hard. So that'll bring me to my next thing. Producers. Brent Rambo. Obvious choice. Lucky works with Brent Rambo since the beginning. Brent Rambo has some of the most different sounding use of instrumentation that I've seen from a producer, especially in this day and age. I think that Brent Rambo also could unlock a new thing within Chucky too, because I don't know if they worked together before, but I want Brent Rambo to be known for doing more than just Lucky songs. And I feel like Chucky would be a cool addition to that catalog. McFly. I didn't know this guy's name. I had to look his name up because I've heard that producer tag on too many hard songs. So an example would be Diamond Stitching. I love Diamond Stitching. I love Diamond Stitching. That's one of the hardest beats I've heard this year. And I think he also did do the hot seat beat too. So why not have him do some more shit for them? He did a song for them already. It was great. Do it again. And again. And again. And again. And while you're at it, let somebody else get a song too. Bristow Bristow be doing his thing. Let's not forget Bristow now. I feel like people been sleeping on him for a minute now. Uh he would add a nice little flavor to it too. It's pretty obvious. It's basically the same reasons as McFly. I've heard Bristow do a lot of good shit for Lucky. I don't know Chucky's producers like that, but that's mostly because his beats like haven't really caught my ear like that deeply to where I wanted to really check them out. And another honorable mention that I'll throw in for producers is Tay Keith, because Tay Keith got some. Tay Keith did that Florida Flow song for Travis Scott's Jack Boys, and that last beat should have been for Lucky and V's. So if he could do some shit like that again for Chucky and Lucky, that'd be amazing. I feel like this would be a great moment for Chicago, a great moment for the rap game to see an older person and a younger person fuse this seamlessly on an album together. I think it will work. I really think this is one of the ones that would work on a cultural level along with a music and marketing level. So let's go to the next one, man. Mavi and Earl sweatshirt. This one I know y'all gonna like, bro, because every time I react to Mavi, I get a lot of Mavi fans, and y'all have been like some of the coolest folks ever. Like I fuck with Mavi fans heavy. Mavi and Earl sweatshirt. It's an obvious one. This is another video, another collab that inspired me to make this. When they made that song, I forgot what it's called already. Potluck is not it. Potluck was on with Smino. What was their song? I think they had in me. What was that song called? Hold on. Land grab. Yes, land grab. Let's just get more of that. That was just enjoyable. Straight up, straight like that. The lyricism that they both have with this new reinvigorated energy that I've been hearing from Earl Sweatshirt lately, it's been super refreshing. I want more of it. I think Mavi could bring more of that out of him. I think Earl could bring more energy out of Mavi. I think together they're actually less sleepy sounding, which is pretty cool to me. You would not expect that, but it works. Um, I think they could do a really good concept album together though. Like these are both two artsy ass niggas. These are both two emotional ass niggas, like music wise. I think they could do a really good concept album together if they wanted to. Or they could go with the concept of not having the concept at all, similar to how Shadowbox was more about me fighting off those dark things in my past or whatever. I'm gonna just talk about, the successes and I'm gonna talk about how far I came. Like they could do that too. That'd be great. Whatever they decide to do, I just think it would end up working well because they both have a good artistic vision. And they're super poetic, especially Earl. Earl get too poetic for me, bro. I'd be lost as fuck. But Mavi be having me lost too sometimes, saying the words he be saying. Nigga talking about cudgel. What is a cudgel, my brother? Anyways, features that I'd want on here. I would want Mike on here. I think Mike's an obvious feature. He works very well with both of them. They all got music together. Um, I think what was it called? Please Don't Come on Wings is the one that Earl and Mike did together off the Burning Desire album. Um, I really wanted to hear. Not I wanted to hear. I wish I was making YouTube videos when Century came out. I think that's what it's called. The one that got Mike and Earl off of the Alchemist project. Let me see. Alchemist. What was that called? Century. It was called Century. I wish I was making YouTube videos back then because I would have a lot to say about it. It's one of my most replayed songs of that year. Um, and they all got similar writing styles to where they could just play off of each other pretty well, and I think it would be beautiful to see. Neonte, I think that's an obvious choice. I don't know him that well, but I always see him work with them, and he has really solid fans. Like people that like Neonte don't just like him; they love that nigga, and I think there's a reason for it. So I gotta tap into more of his stuff. Chance the Rapper. I know I said Chance the Rapper again. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I'm gonna keep. I think Chance the Rapper's got a chance, bro. I think he could come back. Chance the Rapper is somebody who I thought of simply because of his poetry. He's super good at evoking an emotion from me by using words that have other meanings but giving a double meaning while transitioning to the next line. And I think it'll be perfect for these type of rappers. And it would be cool to see like a super mainstream guy on this level with y'all, and just seeing where it would go. And plus he can bring in those spiritual elements that he likes to bring into when it comes to his writing that could give this a whole new lens. And then I added Real Young Phil for basically the exact opposites of Chance the Rapper. I think Real Young Phil is more of like a chill energy. It's like he's chill, but he also brings a different type of energy to the party, if you know what I'm saying. Because he's a frequent I don't know if I don't know if it'd be considered a frequent collaborator, but he posts about Mike a lot. Him and Mike seem to be mad close. He's been around Earl Sweatshirt a lot too. Real Young Phil is definitely an underground artist, but he's somebody that's very appreciative of these type of artists, and he holds them in high regards. And he does have some work with Mike. I don't think he has any work with Mobby or Earl Sweatshirt, but I think it would work personally. And how will it work? One of my producers will make it work. I'll get to that in the producer's side. Producer wise, oh, also Real Young Phil are bringing a whole new audience in my opinion. He's not the biggest, but he's got a really loyal fan base. Um, and even his casual listeners, they're from a whole different like side of rap. To be honest, I think we're bringing some really cool amount of eyes. Now producers, I'm gonna say Alchemist, Iwo and Mike. Alchemist is an obvious pick for obvious reasons. Really good sample work. He's worked with Earl Sweatshirt, mad times, and it sounded great. And I want to see this resourcefulness for somebody else like a Mavi because I think Mavi would do it justice. Iwo frequent collaborator with Earl Sweatshirt. Not no no with Mike, but I want to hear Earl on his type of shit. Not his bouncy chill drill shit, but just his type of shit in general because I think it would be a good bridge for him to connect with other types of artists. You know what I'm saying? For example, a real young Phil. And then I said Mike. Mike was just the obvious one. Mike makes a lot of his own beats, and his beats sound amazing. He knows how to chop his sample up just as well as anybody else, in my opinion. And when they hop on Mike shit, like when Earl's on Mike shit, it's great. And not only that, Mobby has some of the most like he's really fluid. Like he keeps within his flow, but he does dive into certain pockets that you would wonder, I wonder how that would be on somebody else's type of shit. So I just think that'd be interesting. But yeah, Bobby Earl sweatshirt. I know y'all probably like that one because that's a deal that I didn't know I would like this much this year. Freddie Gibbs and Tyler the Creator, another obvious one. Freddie Gibbs and Tyler, I said this one instead of like a Tyler and Earl because like I get y'all golf wang day ones would love that shit. I understand, but I just don't see the vibing in that way. Music wise right now. Freddie Gibbs and Tyler the Creator, they're an interesting pair because they are very different types of artists content wise, super different. But approaches to music are not that they're not that different when you hear them together because they both like to just rap their ass off and call it a day. Now Tyler is more involved within the musicality of it. He does like to add in a lot of intention when it comes to the chords and having piano riffs and things of that nature. But let's not get it twisted. Freddie Gibbs is really good at rapping on that type of shit. On his jazzy samples, he does his thing. So I think that would be a great pairing for them together. I like what they did on the Alfredo project. That shit was a vibe. I think they both on Pray for they weren't both on Pray for Paris, were they? I don't think so. But I imagine that type of sound when I think of them two pairing together. I think we could have a nice fusion of luxury talk with also drug talk from Freddie, and it would just be just a great fusion of worlds. Cause Freddie don't really be on that luxury talk. He be talking about some of the most ghettoest hood shit with the most ghettoest hood females, and Tyler's the exact opposite of that. I feel like the contrast would just be so entertaining, writing wise, and I feel like they both would do great on a similar sounding production. Features, I saw West Side Gun again. I was thinking of Pray for Paris when I was imagining the sound. I feel like West Side Gun has good chemistry with both of them. I think wait, both of them he's worked with Freddie, right? I might be thinking of somebody else off of the Alfredo album. But I want to hear that boom 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 boom. I want to hear his voice with these two people because that's three very different voice. We got the grizzly, thugged out voice of Freddie. We got the deep raspy ass voice of Tyler, and then we got the high boom 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 of West Side Gun. It's gonna be so fucking weird and off the wall to a foreign listener, but I think it's worth it to make it happen. Plus, he's like the fusion of Tyler and Freddie when it comes to his content matters. Luxury talk with the drug talk. He always merges in that street shit with luxury. I talked about it in um my 12 album review. That the 12 album that West Side Gun made or dropped this year. I had mad clips of me just saying, "Yo, there he goes again." He said, "I'll fucking roll your body up in a Murakami rug." That's some shit Tyler and Freddie could work with. This picture I chose of them is hilarious, by the way. Anderson .Paak. I had Anderson .Paak written down before Alfredo 2 came out. Alfredo 2 coming out just confirmed my beliefs that Anderson .Paak would do a beautiful, soulful addition to the tracks. Ensalada is probably the best song off that project. Um, like yeah, it's just it's like bro, it's Anderson .Paak. He works on that type of production all the time. He adds a little like more soul to something. His energy would be super infectious. And I don't think I've ever heard him and Tyler the Creator work together. I want to see what that's like. And I think Freddie Gibbs is the perfect bridge to see that happen. Clips. Now I'll admit, I didn't think of Clips until I listened to the project. After listening to the project, I feel like I can't not have Clips on there. And I know, you know, this might be fueling the talks of which one was better, Freddie Gibbs project or the Clips project. I don't give a fuck. They're both amazing. Clips is one of Tyler's most talked about inspirations. He always talks about how much he loves Clips, and he finally got a feature on the Clips album. Why not just return the favor, have him on this one? Clips did the appearance on Tyler the Creator's music video that he just dropped for his most recent project, the dance project. That just would be great. I want to hear Malice and Pusha just go back and forth with Freddie on some shit, or they could add a new perspective on things too because they're older and they could get into that more, you know. I'm over this type of lifestyle type of talk too. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But then again, it might get real dicey because it seemed like Pusha T and Malice don't believe none of these rappers, bro. What if they don't believe Freddie? But you know, that's neither here nor there. Producers, Pharrell, obvious pick. Tyler the Creator, mad tight with Pharrell. Tyler the Creator, obvious because Tyler the Creator makes some of the most like careful beats in my opinion. Like he puts a lot of care in the way the beat evolves. He likes to go from point A to point B, and I think those are Freddie Gibbs's best verses is when the beat is rising in a way. For example, at 19 was it 1985 off Alfredo? I enjoy that thoroughly. Or Thuggin, or there's one song on Piata 2 where like the strings are super fast, and I said it reminded me of like a chasing scene. I think Tyler the Creator could do great on that. And then Madlib, another obvious one. Madlib and Freddie got some of the best producer rapper chemistry like we've seen ever, in my opinion. So yeah, this is it. This is a simple one. This is a simple one. I think I got one or two more. Nope, this is my last one. Yes. This one right here is the sleeper one. Young Thug and Saw Baby. Now, Young Thug and Saw Baby, you gotta think about how I'm thinking about it, bro. I like how it started with JID and Kenny Mason. This is like the inverse of that. This is like the non-lyrical part of Atlanta rap. This is not street. This is like the trap, you know, vibey shit of Atlanta rap that I want reinvigorated too. Because I think both sides are kind of at a down. They're at a little bit of a, you know what I'm saying? Ever since Lil Baby fell off, niggas just, ain't been the same. And since Young Thug got locked up, ain't been the same. So boom me. Young Thug and Saw Baby. Saw Baby is the most entertaining thing out of that side of Atlanta, in my opinion, right now. The Sahim project was some of the best music I heard last year. It is some of the most infectious, some of the most replayable rap I've heard in a long time. I'm still replaying a lot of it. Songs like Every Day, songs like the Don Quan intro, songs like 1095 Osborne Streets, songs like Viking, of course. Viking is going crazy. I could go on and on and on. And I think we would be remiss to say that he doesn't sound like Young Thug. He does. He does sound like Young Thug. But the thing is, Young Thug hasn't sounded like that version of Young Thug in a long time. I want to hear Young Thug come in with some energy again. I feel like this is the perfect way to get Young Thug to understand the new landscape in music, right? And how he could be a huge contributor to getting pushed forward, like how he was in his rise to the top. I think that Saw Baby is doing what Young Thug is supposed to be doing with the way he's delivering these super energetic, vocally dynamic deliveries. And I really, really, really would love to see them work together because obviously Saw Baby gets so much of his influence from him, like half of rap in general. But like it gets to a point where sometimes the student does become the master. And in my opinion, Saw Baby right now, he might be the master. So yeah, that'd be amazing. I want to see. I would want this album to be about. I'd want this album to be about 14 tracks for sure, and some features that can contribute to this new reignition, this new restart, this new fresh way of Atlanta rising up again. I included three Atlanta artists. Swappa, underground Atlanta rapper. He has a similar cadence to a Thug, a Side Baby, but like in a deeper register. So he won't be too samey when you hear them all together because Side Baby and Young Thug tend to go higher. Swappa tends to go lower, but he does great. He does a great job with it. If you want a recommendation to a swap a song, I would say Irving is the most replayable, most accessible song right now. I love Irving, and if not Irving, then I'll say Real Sex. But yeah, Swappa would do great. He's from Atlanta. Wait, he's from Atlanta, right? Let me make sure. He just looks and sounds like yeah. I don't want to just make the assumption. Where is Swappa from? If I'm wrong, then this is gonna be awkward. Never mind. He's from New Jersey. Well, god damn it. This nigga sound like he from Atlanta, bro. I'm not gonna cut. So ignore that part. He's not shit for Atlanta, but fuck it, he would have a really good contribution to boosting this shit up. This nigga sound like he from Atlanta. This is gonna throw. Wow, this throws me off overly. I gotta. Wow. Um, that was definitely what's the word? That was profiling. That was for sure profiling. Uh, look up Swappa if you wondering why I say like you from Atlanta. Look at these niggas and then look at Swappa. Anyways, okay, so Destroy Lonely. Destroy Lonely, he actually is from Atlanta. I know that for sure. He's in the new generation too, but he's not underground no more. So you have that mid level youngin, you feel me? He could reinvigorate this with some pretty interesting vocals. I feel like because I liked his last project that he just dropped. I'm not the biggest Destroy Lonely fan, but the last project he dropped was actually really entertaining to me, and I think he could do some I won't say like nothing crazy when it comes to his verses or anything like that. But I think he could provide some catchy hooks that Thug and Sad Baby could glide over. It would be a tough like way to envision it right now because I think it's a really like fresh duo trio that we haven't heard before. Like Swappa, we haven't heard him with them either before either, but I feel like that's an easier thing to imagine. Destroy Lonely, he has such a raspy like kind of boring kind of voice in like the grand scheme of his work. But I'm telling you, his newer stuff, it sounds like he's trying to get to a better, more higher level. And I think this is the perfect way to do it. And I feel like Sad Baby would be the perfect bridge between a Young Thug and Destroy Lonely because he's a young nigga, but he's also super super able to do the old nigga shit that Young Thug been doing. Future now. Future feel like that was the most obvious pick because Young Thug is Future and Futures are already a dynamic duo, and I feel like it would be a great way to like usher in Saw Baby like, yo, you what's next now? You are what's next. Um, Young Thug is no longer associating with Gunna. I feel like Saw Baby is that new person that he could have under his wing. Business and status wise, of course. Music wise, I think Saw Baby's doing perfectly fine by himself, but when you add Future into the mix. I think that's a new component of what's the word, mentorship, that would be interesting to see within the studio. And I think personally, like the music would just be good, honestly, like straight like that, like some trap drums, some flutes with some Future and a flute. They don't miss. We don't hear it that often, but Future and the flute don't miss. And I'm not just talking about some shit like Mask Off. I'm talking about like shit like Posted with Demons off of the High Off Life album. That's what I'm talking about. So Saw Baby and Young Thug with that would just be a great moment for Atlanta, in my opinion. So producers, well, I talk about flutes and shit like that. I said Wheezy, Metro Boomin, and Pierre Bourne. Very different types of producers for a this is a wild, wacky type of album that I'm suggesting right now, right? But when you really think about it, it's the perfect way to fuse old with the new, in my opinion, similar to Chucky and Lucky. Wheezy obviously has some of the best southern sounds for a Young Thug. They worked together countless times. They do great together. He had a lot of inclusion off of the So Much Fun album, and I really enjoyed it. Of course, Hot is a huge example. Let Saw Baby work with that too. Give Saw Baby the same resources that Young Thug has, while keeping Young Thug there. I think it would be great. I think that that's worth the investment. Metro Boomin now. Metro Boomin, easy money, super obvious. It's Metro Boomin. I want to hear a young. I want to hear a Metro Spider again. I haven't heard Young Thug rap like Metro Spider within these past like 5, 6, maybe 7 years. Not even joking, not trolling. Metro Spider still has the like most attention grabbing, energy evoking um moment of Young Thug's like most recent career. And I think you don't do that without a beat that Metro Boomin does again. And I feel like Sa Baby could benefit from having that type of you know that type of access. Now Pure Born is someone I just threw in there uh due to the simple fact that he makes very interesting whimsical production that Sa Baby would probably do amazing on. And I don't think I've heard too much of Young Thug and Pierre together. So I feel like he could fuse those elements of the whimsy of the bells and whistles, all that shit, right? He could have the whimsy while still having an underlying bit of darkness that Young Thug could cut across through, similar to what he did on Metro Spider, or similar to what he did on Pussy, because the song Pussy to me was super hard off of So Much Fun. And that sounded pretty whimsical and chimey too. Saw Baby would have killed Pussy. Whoa. Oh my god. That sounds crazy. But the song Pussy by Young Thug, Saba would do great on. I feel like you can make a moment where they both could do great on a similar sounding production through a producer like Pierre Bourne. So yeah, that is all. That is all. That is my 10 hypothetical collab albums. Oh, I'm out of breath, bro. I was yapping, nigga. Sheesh. Oh, bro, I'm out of breath like shit. Boy, I was yapping OD. I was overly yapping, bro. But yeah, that's my hypothetical collab albums. Let me know what y'all thought about them, man. What would you suggest to be a part of a part of the project that I put on, or the people that I forgot? There's duos that you would want to see, even trios. Is there even a team of four? Please put them in the comments. Who would you want to see make a collab album together? Um, and if you want me to do a second one where it's a producer and rappers together, let me know. I would love to do it. I would have to do more research on it, but I'd want to see that y'all want to see it first. But yeah, please like, please comment, please subscribe. I've been holding out for this video because there's been so many album recommendations y'all been giving me. So I've been just putting like this on the back burner. But tonight I decided, no, I want to just put it out. So this is just the beginning though. This is just the beginning. Let me know what y'all thought, and hopefully I could get to that 500 subs before fall time really gets around, and then I'll stream stuff like this and have you guys, give me your input live, and we can make shit like this together. But yeah, I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bear with me all platforms. Y'all have a blessed one. Be safe. Peace. Woo!